Annyeonghaseyo. Hello everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Today I will be going over all the things that I think you need to know before coming over to South Korea. Okay, let's get started. The first thing I think you should know is, are you eligible to apply? So to apply for the Epik program, you need the following requirements. Okay, you need to be from an English-speaking country, and there are 7 of them. The 7 include South Africa, the USA, the UK, New Zealand, Canada, Ireland, and Australia. Okay, you also need to have a valid and working passport, and you need to have a clear criminal record or background check, and you need to have a bachelor's degree in any major. Okay, the next question, I did take some notes, so I'll be glancing at my phone from time to time, is do you need a TEFL certificate? Okay, so if you do not have a bachelor's in education or a PCGE, then you are required to have a TEFL certificate. Okay, that is easy to obtain. You can obtain one online, and Palisa Jonas has a coupon code, so a discount code for a TEFL certificate. I will try and link that below for you guys. So if you do not have one, you can finish the TEFL in about 2 days. It's really not difficult to complete. It's pretty straightforward, and the TEFL needs to be between 100 to 120 hours online. Okay, another thing that you need to remember is to please bring your original TEFL when you come to South Korea. Okay, they don't want a scanned version, they would want the original. In my case, I wasn't asked for my TEFL certificate at my school, but you might be. Okay, so the next question is, do I need teaching experience? Okay, the short answer to that question is no, but having teaching experience would be advantageous to you. Okay, so if you have any kind of teaching experience, please make sure that you mention that in your application, and make sure that you have proof of your teaching experience. So Epik recruits biannually, so they have an intake, a spring intake, which is usually around the end of February, and you would start in March, and then they also have a fall intake, which is in August, and I believe you would start in September, or at least that's how it worked for me. And the spring intake, the deadline is the 26th of January 2022. So if you miss the deadline, you can prepare for the fall intake, which is in August. However, the application process opens on the 1st of February 2022. So you can start getting some documents together if this is something that you want to do. Okay, if you're from South Africa, I would encourage you to get your police clearance certificate and your tax residency certificate as soon as possible. Okay, because these are the documents that take the longest to get back. And I would also recommend that when you're applying for your police clearance certificate, that you apply around March if you want to join the fall intake, because your police clearance certificate needs to be valid. Okay, by the time you apply, it needs to be valid, but it's only valid for 6 months. Another thing, if you can go directly to the Criminal Record Center, which is in Pretoria, please do that rather than hand your police clearance fingerprints in at your local police station, because that's going to take your waiting time so much. It's going to make your waiting time so much longer. So I would just suggest that you go, once you've got your fingerprints taken, just tell the police officer that no, you prefer or you would like to have it back, so you can take it to the station, to the Criminal Record Center yourself. Some of them will be a bit hesitant to give it to you, but just insist that no, that you would like to have this back as quick as possible, so you're just going to take it yourself. If you can't go by yourself, you can always use Postnet, and I think it costs about 220 Rand to send it to the Postnet in Pretoria. And what's nice is the Criminal Record Center is actually in the same building as the Postnet, so it's quick things. Yeah, so then I used that the first time I applied for a police clearance certificate, and I think I got my police clearance certificate back in about less than a month. So it was about 3 weeks. Yeah, so I don't know, things are probably different now with COVID. It might take a little bit longer than 3 weeks. And so also the tax residency certificate is now strictly done online, so please make sure that you apply online well in advance, and you're going to have to phone SARS every single day to make sure that your appointment has been booked, or if they don't phone you, you have to check up with them and ask about your process and your status of your tax residency certificate religiously, because they do not follow up. In my case, they forgot to start the process when I applied, so I had to wait months upon months upon months. I only received it when I got to Korea, and yeah, you don't want to be in that situation. So make sure that when you do apply, just know that you have to be on their noses about getting your certificate back. Okay, the next question is, do I need to find my own apartment? no, one of the benefits of teaching in South Korea is your housing is provided for you. So your school will find an accommodation for you your school will find accommodation for you, so you don't have to worry about paying rent or finding apartment in your first year. Okay, next question. Do I have to pay for my own flight? Yes, you have to pay for your own flight, but the nice thing, another benefit to teaching with the Epik program is once you arrive in South Korea, at the end of your first month of teaching here, you will get reimbursed for your flight. Okay, so you get a travel allowance, which is 1.3 million won. I will leave the conversion down below for you so you can see how much that is in rands. So that's the standard price. No matter how much you paid for your flight, that's the amount that you will get back after your first month of teaching. Okay, now I want to talk about the application process. Okay, since COVID, there has been a few changes to the online application with Epik. Okay, and with the interview process, you now have to have a demo lesson with your interview, and the interviews are now held on Zoom as opposed to Skype. So make sure that you have a Zoom account set up already. If Korean before you teach or when you come over to South Korea, the answer to that question is no, but I would say it's highly advantageous. First of all, I was one of those people that did not know any Korean when I got here, and that's just because the process took so long for me to get here. I was discouraged along the way, and then I just had no desire to learn it because I wasn't sure I was going to make it to Korea. So I just did not learn anything. So I came here with nothing, and it was so difficult for me just to get by, because if you know at least the bare minimum, like even the bare minimum won't cut it. Like I have like a conversational level of Korean that you can go by on, and I will make it my mission in one of my videos to teach you like some phrases that I think is important to know when you get to Korea. Okay, because that's just going to help make your transition so much smoother. You'll be able to connect with your co-workers a lot easier and buy things a lot easier, and just build a good rapport with your students, because they do really want to speak to you, but then they have such a limited amount of English that they need to rely on. So they kind of expect you to know just a little bit, just so you guys can have like a conversation at least. So it's not a requirement, but I say please learn some Korean before you get here, and also about the culture. Learn about the culture a little bit, do some research before you get here. That will also make your life so much easier, and people will just have like a natural liking to you because they see your interest, and they will just be more open and friendly to you. Okay, and then the last part is just some advice. It's not really questions, but it's memory. The next piece of advice that I want to give you is have a lot of stuff that reminds you of home that you can bring with you, like snacks, South African snacks that you can eat, or like pictures of family and friends, or whatever is going to make you feel very like home away from home, like you're bringing home with you. Okay, the next thing I think is also the first month is going to be difficult, but push through anyway. You are going to have so many challenges during your first month because you have to learn a completely new way of living. You have to learn everything from scratch, like how to take out your trash, how to set up a bank account, how to communicate, how to ask, buy food, it's a lot, and it can quickly get very overwhelming. So know that, have that at the back of your mind, that okay, the first month is going to be very difficult, but push through. One coping mechanism that I used to help me was every single day I got back from school, I would just cross off one day from my calendar, and then I would just look at my calendar and be like, okay, I survived this day, tomorrow will be better. And I did this every single day. By day 15 I could see how many days I've survived and how many I still need to survive just for that month, and that was so helpful for me just to get by my first month. Okay, the next bit of advice is to limit your expectations. Okay, when applying to the Epik program, it's fundamental that you are flexible and open-minded. Okay, you don't have a choice in where you will get placed. Okay, you do have in your application, you do have a preferred location, but it's not a guarantee that you will be placed at your preferred location. So you will be placed wherever a school needs you. Okay, you also don't have a say in what grade you will be teaching, so limit your expectations, be open. Okay, and then the last bit of advice I have is to be confident in your abilities. Okay, don't try and be anybody else when you get here. Be confident in who you are, even during the application process. Be confident in yourself, be confident in your abilities, and you will succeed. Okay, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. If you have any questions or anything that I have not touched in this video, please leave some comments down below, and I hope that you have a good day. Thank you, everybody. Bye.